Alright, definition. Whoops. Gotta move this on the screen so you guys can see it. Okay, the definition of a circle. The set of all points equidistant from a given point called the center of the circle. The definition of a parabola is the set of all points equidistant from the directrix and the focus. So, to find the center, we're going to line up all the x's together. So this is going to be x squared plus 8x plus blank. We're going to leave that for later because we want it to be a trinomial. Then line up the y's. Plus y squared minus 6y plus blank. And then we want to make sure the 3 is on the other side, so we add 3 to the other side. Now we're going to complete the square. We do that by doing 8 divided by 2, that's 4, square it, and we get 16. So we're going to add 16 to both sides. Then to get the other blank, we are going to take the y value. So 6, that should have been a minus 6y. So negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Square it and we get 9. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. So when we cut that in half, those numbers are what's going to be in our condensed form, x plus 4 squared. And then this is going to condense into y minus 3 squared. And then 3 plus 16 plus 9 is equal to 28. So our center is at negative 4, 3. And then our radius is the square root of 28, which comes out to about 5.2. So therefore, our center of the circle is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 1, 2, 3. And we need to make sure our radius is 5, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in every direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And so the circle would pretty much go around kind of like that. It needs to be a little bigger. Kind of like that. So here's our center. Here's our radius. There's our sketch. Same thing with this guy. The x squared has no other x's, so he's just chilling. And then this is going to be a y squared plus 10y. We're going to do the work off to the side. 10 divided by 2, that's 5. Square that, and that's 25. So we're going to add 25 to both sides. So that's going to be x squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 36. So our center of the circle is going to be at 0, comma, negative 5. Since there's no number at the x, it's a 0. Square root of 36 is 6. So that's our radius. So we're going to go to 0, negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to go 6 in every direction. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the circle is going to go off the graph 6 the other way. I'm drawing with a mouse, so just don't make fun of my circles. Okay. Find the equation of the circle of center 4, negative 1, and radius of 3. So it's going to be an x minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 9, because this number right here is equal to r squared. Again, easy problem. X plus 2 squared, because that's our x value, plus y minus 5 squared is equal to 16. Put the following into descriptive form. So by descriptive form, I'm assuming that means just get y or x by itself. Okay, so we're just going to get y by itself. So we're going to distribute, actually, we're going to divide both sides by 2. So this is going to say x plus 3 squared, or 1/2, is equal to y plus 4. Then we're going to subtract 4 from both sides to get y equals 1/2 x plus 3 squared minus 4. So that's called descriptive form because we can get our vertex right away. Our vertex is at -3, -4. We have state the direction the parabola opens. It opens up. And how many times does it cross the x-axis? So if our center, or our vertex, is at -3, 4, which is around here, and it goes up, we're going to hit the x-axis 2 times. So 2 times. Okay. For this one over here, to get it into descriptive form, I got to make sure I complete the square over here. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 10 on both sides. So this is going to be an x minus 10 equals y squared minus 12, y. Cut the -12 in half. That's -6. Square it, and we get 36. So I need to add 36 to both sides. So this becomes x plus 26 is equal to y minus 6 squared. And then I'm going to subtract that 26 from both sides to get x equals y minus 6 squared minus 26. Vertex is at 6, -26. This one opens to the right. Remember, if it's y squared, that means it's going left and right. Positive y squared is right. Negative y squared is left, like so. And how many times does it cross the axis? Well, since it's going sideways, it's only going to cross 1 time. It'll cross eventually. Next one. So I'm gonna get the y and the 40 out of here. Bleh. So this is gonna be a 4x squared minus 24x equals y minus 40. I'm just moving them to the other side. Then I'm going to factor out the GCF of 4 and make this x squared minus 6x plus blank is equal to y minus 40. Do some work off to the side. So that means I'm going to have -6 cut in half. That's -3. Square it, and we get +9. So I'm going to add 9 in here. But on this side, I can't add 9, because remember, this 4 has to distribute back into this. So 4 times 9 is 36. So this is 4 times x minus 3 squared equals y minus 4. Then add 4 to both sides to get y equals 4x minus 3 squared plus 4. The vertex of this is at positive 3, positive 4. The direction of the parabola opens up. And so the vertex is somewhere up here. It opens upwards, so that means it crosses the x-axis 0 times. Put the following into descriptive form and state the vertex and all that fun stuff. Alright, so let's get rid of this thing right here. Okay, hold on, that's weird. Because descriptive form would have already been done if it was the other way. Yeah, descriptive form. So let's get the squared term by itself. So we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. So this is going to be 2 times y minus 1 is equal to x plus 5 squared. So our vertex is going to be at negative 5, positive 1. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, positive 1. Okay, so this number right here, remember, descriptive form looks like this. X minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. We might have called it a c in class. I don't remember. So whatever's here outside the y thing, that is our 4p. So we get 2p is equal to 4. Sorry, that's backwards. 2 is equal to 4p. Divide both sides by 4 to get 1/2 equals p. So this function opens up because it's a positive x. So this is going to go up 1/2. And then it is going to go down 1/2 for the directrix. So the directrix is a dotted line going through the half like this. So the focus is at negative 5, comma 1.5. The directrix is at y equals positive 0.5. And we have a focal width. Remember, this is a 2, so we're going to call this a focal width form. From the focus, we need to go right 1, left 1, to give us an entire length right here of 2. So we connect the focus and the 2 points. There's our parabola. So for this one, we already have it pretty much good, the square terms by itself. So we have negative 8 is equal to 4p. Divide both sides by 4. And we get p is equal to negative 2. So our vertex is at positive 4, negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. The focus is going to be, this is a y squared. Since y is being squared right here, we know it's a sideways parabola. And since it's negative, that means it opens to the left. So we're going to go left 2. There's our focus. Right 2 for our directrix. So our focus is at 2, -2. Our directrix is at x equals +6. And we have a focal width of 8, which means we need to go 4 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So, to use the distance formula for this guy. Einstein? Oh. Be right back. We got pizza. This pizza's so good. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so we got a few things. We got point. Point is x comma y. It's going to be our x1, y1. F is our focus. That's at -5, 0. That's going to be x2, y2. And D is our directrix. Since it says x equals 5, we're going to be at 5, y. That'll also be x2, y2. So we're going to plug them both into this formula. So it's going to be the square root of x2 minus x1 squared. So actually, I'm going to change this around and make this a 1 and a 2. It won't make a difference. 1 second. Okay. So we're going to do x1 minus x2. So this is going to be x minus a -5, which makes it a +5, squared, plus y1 minus y2, so y minus 0 squared. Now we have to do PD. So from P to D, this is going to be an x minus 5 squared, plus y minus y squared. And the y, so let's cancel out a lot of stuff. First off, when we square both sides, the roots are gone. And the y minus y will cancel. So what we're left with is an x plus 5 squared. So this will be an x squared plus 10x plus 25. Plus, we're going to be left with a y squared. Equals, that's going to fly out to be x squared minus 10x plus 25. So x squared on both sides cancels. 25 on both sides cancels. Subtract 10x from both sides. And we get y squared equals negative 20x. So same deal here. Again, P is going to be x comma y. F, 0, negative 6. And then the directrix, since y is given this time, it's going to be x comma 6. So again, x1, y1, x2, y2, x2, y2. So this is going to be the square root of x minus 0 squared plus y minus a negative makes that a positive 6 squared equals the square root of, now we have to do PD, so this will be x minus x squared plus y minus 6 squared. So let's square root everything, or square both things, cancel out what we can. So x minus 0 squared is just x squared. FOIL that out to be a y squared plus 12y plus 36. Those x's canceled, so this is a y squared minus 12y plus 36. Y squared on both sides cancel. 36's on both sides cancel. Get the x squared by itself by subtracting 12y to both sides. And we get x squared equals negative 24y. Okay, one more time. Any point P is an xy coordinate point. F is at negative 4, 5. D is located at 0, negative 3. So therefore, again, x1, y1, x2, y2, x2, y2. So this boils down to the square root of, might be a little too big. We're going to have an x minus a negative 4, so that's positive 4 squared, plus y minus 5 squared equals the square root of, so this is going to be an x minus, that should have been an x negative 3, not a 0, x minus x squared plus y minus a negative makes that a positive 3 squared. So since these x squareds cancel, we're just going to leave this x plus 4 alone, square both sides to get rid of the roots. So we have x plus 4 squared plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals, FOIL that out, that's a y squared plus 6y plus 9. Y squareds on both sides cancel. Get the x squared by itself, so we're going to add 10y to both sides, subtract 25. Add 10y to both sides, subtract 25. So we get x plus 4 squared equals 16y minus 16. And when we factor out the 16, since it has a GCF, we're left with y minus 1. Done. Okay, find graph, focal endpoints, all that good stuff. So y squared equals 2x, which means we have 2 is equal to 4p, which means p is equal to 1/2. The vertex is at 0, 0. Since it's a y squared, it's going to the right, so we're going to go right 1/2. Vertex is at 0, 0. Vertex is going to be at 0.5, comma 0. Directrix is on the other side. So that's going to be at x equals negative 0.5. And since our focal width is 2, that means I need to go from the focus up 1, down 1 to give us an entire width of 2. So our focal endpoints are at 0.5, comma 1, and 0.5, comma negative 1. And it looks kind of like that. For this one, we want to get the squared term by itself, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 8 times 8 times 8. So this is 8 times x plus 2 is equal to, it's a negative 8 by the way, y minus 3 squared. So our vertex is at negative 2, 3. There we go. And we got negative 8 is equal to 4p. Divide both sides by 4. Negative 2 equals p. So since it's y squared, it's sideways. So our focus is going to be to the left 2. Directrix is going to be right 2. So our directrix is on the axis. So focus is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 3. Directrix is at x equals 0. We should have a focal width of 8, which means 4 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our focal chord endpoints are at negative 4, 7, negative 4, negative 1. Okay, so for this one, we want to get the x squared by itself, so we're going to add 2 to both sides. So y plus 2 is equal to 1/12 x squared times 12 on both sides. So 12 times y plus 2 is equal to x squared. So no horizontal shift, vertical shift of negative 2, so it's at 0, negative 2. There's our vertex. 12 is equal to 4p. Divide both sides by 4, and we get 3 is equal to p. And since x is squared, it's going to be up and down, so we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. There is our focus at 0, 1. Down 1, 2, 3. So our directrix is at x equals negative 5. And since our number here is 12, that means we should have 6 on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be at negative 1, 6. Sorry. Negative 6, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 comma 1. And there we go. So that's unit 7.